Let's dropkick this bitch. Here we go, my homies. Been animating fight moves for over 25 years. I'll tell you what, it's my legacy. Way back when I started this crap, I was chilling at a beach. A large fish walked out of the water with evolved legs. He looked at me and said, "You are my future self. Remember to animate the dropkick landing move with my legs." I wished him luck and threw in some arms as he crawled back into the water. So here I am, an evolved ape. This dropkick landing move is very special to me. It needs a running start. I've animated this many times and pulled it off many times in a real fight. The thing I noticed about this move between animation and for real fighting is that I control the timing in animation. In real life, the timing controls me. But there's repercussions. I wrestled a top contender once. Her name was 2-Ton Tamika. She suplexed me a few times, and that's when I decided to pull off this dropkick move on her boobs. And all the tub of jelly ricocheting me out the way, all the way to the safety out of the building. Because what happened next was that 2-Ton Tamika, she fell on her back, and that's when we got the 1989 earthquake. Some officials held me responsible, but that was just coincidental. How would a 2-ton person rock a whole city? That don't make no sense. You're giving that lady too much credit. Well, that's not gonna happen again. You gotta pick and choose your battles. You know, I tried to audition for that movie Terminator Dark Fate, and I went to the studio for the auditions and I said, I'm here to audition for the Mexican Terminator. And they looked at me and they said, "Oh, sorry, sir. First off, you're not Mexican, and second, we already tried a shape-shifting Asian man, and that didn't work." I went home that night pondering how prejudiced they were against non-shapeshifters. You see, I got the Asian gene. I'll be animating well into 130 years old probably. Not because I love it, because I simply forgot how to stop. You know, it's like that movie The Protector with Tony Jaa, and then he busted in that restaurant and started beating people up randomly. You know, he's beating up guys, all the way to the top of the 10th floor. And when he made it up there, he I know he's tired, but he goes, "Where are my elephants?" I know his mission was that he's looking for his elephants the whole time, but you'd think he would have stopped at the second floor and asked, how would they have gotten the elephant all the way to the top? So maybe I should stop while I'm ahead. And if I did get up there and I find the elephant, how am I going to get him all the way back down? Look, my whole point is not that the dude wasted time and energy and that he pulled off a pretty good oneer of a fight scene, is that when he gets to the top, that dude in the white jacket, he did a dropkick landing move. And usually when one does, you end up in a squatting position like I have here. You gotta squat down with your shoulders pointed down like you're trying to squeeze one out. Because in order to build this, you need a character artist, a rigger, and then an animator. It's like a human centipede. Only I did all three jobs on my own. So that means I got my head shoved up my own ass. Yeah, if you can imagine that. I've embraced my final form. Part animator, part ape. I crawled out of the ocean with destiny in my bones and landed right here. I've transcended matter. I'm pure fighting move consciousness. I don't eat. I don't sleep. I just make fight moves in the data void, endlessly. I see all. I hear everything. I practically animate this move in my sleep. And why do we sleep? Well, maybe that's not the real question. Maybe it's, why did we wake up? So I can animate this move 400 times so that 9 people can watch it on YouTube. How epic is that? It's almost as epic as doing 300 push-ups. Because Master Chuck once made me do 300 push-ups, And when I was done, I turned around to see that he fell asleep. Spent the last hour beating up my shoulders while he went off dreaming about eating dumplings or something. He then woke up, looks at me like we just met. But what are you gonna do? He's old school and halfway dead. Old masters don't understand anything modern. Doesn't believe in Wi-Fi. Said the signals made your chi go limp. Sometimes things don't appear as they are. I tried to hatch some sea monkeys once I bought, and they grew up to look different from the pictures on the package. No arms or legs or tail. They just look like brine shrimp. Maybe I should have waited a few years and they'll evolve with their limbs, but I didn't have the patience for that. So I took them to the vet, and I just said, I can't raise these things. They don't even talk. So yeah, the whole place had a good laugh at me, especially the dogs. But I just left the brine shrimp there, so maybe they got adopted already. Damn, this Dropkick animation is turning out pretty good. Time flies when you talk about getting ripped off. But it's 3 a.m. All these animation keys and a spline curve look the same by now. And that's when I need to pee. In the spline curve. Spline curves are not. These keyframes were originally set by an AI? It sucked. Did a pretty piss poor job, and that's why you're watching me knock this bitch out with grace. You can't give up so easily. Look at how many Terminators Skynet sent back in time to help humanity. It sent so many it didn't know what to do with after its mission was complete. Some raised families, but most took over jobs and screwed up our economy. Not today. Check out my Dropkick animation.